gas in Boston? How much?
Yeah, so right now we're on the high twos, low threes. So that's pretty
Okay.
decent for now. I mean, what about you?
Fours in California.
Yeah, man, that's
It's fours.
yeah,
I'm like, are you? And it's not even a gradual. Right when you hit the California border, it's fours. It's in Arizona, it's like high twos.
mhm.
Nah, California, right when you hit that border,
That's
it's
crazy, man. I wonder if it's any
hey,
different up in Northern California. Probably not. Who knows?
I I don't know. It was the same thing when I came here last time. I was at the border coming from San Diego, and it was the city of Yuma. I'll never forget it. Never forget crossing the border and the gas being 280.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, dude. And then some parts of LA, it's five. I think I remembered it being
It's,
five.
it's insane, man. Are you renting you're renting a car, right?
No, no, no. I drove my car here.
Oh, you drove it
So,
there. Oh, okay.
yeah,
How was that
I
road
like,
trip?
I, you know, I'm okay doing road trips by myself because they go really fast. At
Yeah.
least for me. He, I kind of like being alone. I love people, don't get me wrong, but I just did this hike up this little mountain just all by myself. And when I went up there, I had my bread, my tuna fish. No, I mean like tuna packages, mayo, made a sandwich.
Yeah.
Didn't need to go anytime. I didn't have anyone needing to be like, "Hey, let's keep going, or let's go back down. Let's do it." Just sat and took in the view. You know.
Solitude, man.
Hmm.
It's not often we get it, right?
Hmm.
What else?
It,
How else was your road trip? You didn't
how
make any
else?
stops, huh?
Oh, I did a couple stops. I know people in. I was born in El Paso,
Yeah.
so I have family friends. So I stopped at two of their places, one in El Paso, one in Las Cruces. And then I have a friend in Tucson who I went to go eat lunch with. And then I came to Palm Springs. And I'm here for like it's a conference that I bought tickets for.
Hmm.
Pretty much just how to how to be a social entrepreneur on Instagram, on these platforms. So I looked at some of the schedule and some of them pretty cool. One of the classes is how to grow like your short videos on Instagram. I'm like,
Really?
heck yeah, let's go, dude. Let's do that. So
What's the
I'm pretty
conference called,
excited.
or who's sponsoring it?
Oh, I have no idea. It's called Alt Summit. It's in Palm Springs. So I there was really the only YouTube conference I could go to before I left. So I was like, screw it. We're gonna do it. And it just
Yeah.
happened to be the month before I leave. So
Now, when did it start? You already went to it?
today. So it's this weekend. So mainly it's what's the Friday? So it's mainly Saturday and Sunday, and you can register today. So after this, I'm gonna do a drive there and register. And there's supposed to be a party, like party, but just a convention getting
Yes. Influencer party. Let's go.
yeah, let's go. And then I'm telling you, I'm gonna find a dance hall, dude.
Yeah.
It's Friday night. It's
Hell
Friday
yeah.
night. I heard
Hell
Cali
yeah.
dancing was good.
Hell yeah. By the way, if
So
I keep shifting about, it's because my legs are on fire. So I need to keep them moving. All right. So just letting you know. Um,
when
yeah.
when I joined the fucking call, I just saw you doing that. I was like, oh man, he's a little menacing today.
I'm straight up just my legs are like jello, man. They
Oh
they,
my
they
God.
feel like a bowl of cereal. Well, that's cool, man. You
I
might meet some cool people there. Like some
oh yeah,
like
yeah,
some
yeah.
you may meet someone famous, man.
No, I don't think it's not that big of a conference, but that's the main reason I'm coming. Yeah, the workshops are cool and everything like that, but I want I want to go to a conference where you have to pay money to actually go because that's where people are actually, for lack of a better word, legit. They want to get better. They
Yeah.
want on to find success. So I feel like that filters a lot of the bullshit out.
It does. Yeah, I agree with you. I went to a conference in Arizona last year with my sister, and it was the IM Academy, and you had to pay
Mhm.
for it, of course. And it was about like trading, and they had um financial market trading, and they had a section too with like social media. They had a section with crypto. So it was like this big, like it was in a auditorium. Everyone had their presentations, and then the energy was crazy, man. It was really cool energy. And anyone who goes to those things, regardless of what they end up doing with it, everyone leaves inspired, right? Everyone leaves inspired.
Yeah.
Everyone leaves with some sort of mission or some sort of idea of what they're going to do with what they just learned, or just being around other people and hearing what they had to say.
Mhm.
You might learn more from the people that are going than the people who are presenting,
Yeah.
right? So I'm happy for you, man. I'm excited, man. That's gonna be
Yeah.
dope, yo. Yeah, I hope you
Yeah,
learn some good stuff.
it's a good diving board. Uh, if you're trying to get into something, it helps you get right into it, and then afterwards, uh, oh, and it also helps you learn the things that you didn't know that you didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's the thing about the internet is it's great for things that you don't know, or then that you know and that you want to know,
Yeah.
or the things you don't know that you know. But for the things that you don't know,
You wouldn't know where to find it. So you gotta go.
you don't know where to find it on the internet, and you probably could get AI to help you with that, but it's just so much. For example, when you get into a town, I I've stopped looking, try to look online for the best hike. I just ask the visitor center. I ask people who are hiking, like, what are the best hikes here? Because they're the ones that know, oh,
Yeah.
where the hikes are, not the internet. Because, as like you said, and I don't know where to look in the city for a good hike. I mean, I have a general area, but for someone who lives here, understands it, they know where it is. So that's the better source to go to.
Yeah, they know which ones to avoid too.
Hmm.
So, did you go hiking today?
Yeah, I went hiking. I went up, I think I went 2 miles up, 2 miles down.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it was awesome. Just the mountains give you so much, it kind of puts you in your place, honestly. And this is actually goes into what I wanted to talk about today is the sublime and the beautiful. So we could say beautiful with women, but I think I just thinking more of just the sublime in nature, sublime I'm in just things that give you awe. And there's something about just mountains, even though I understand where they come from. I understand there's millions of years of tectonic, 100,000 years of tectonic plates, and it's pushing up and creating them, and years in the making. Even if I didn't know that, they'd still be amazing.
Yeah.
They'd still be awe-inspiring. So
Hmm.
it makes me believe that beauty and sublime is something actually either ingrained in nature or ingrained in our ability to understand and reason about nature.
I think it's a little bit of both, right?
Right.
Um, Especially the part where it's unexplainable. Um, like the ocean, for example. We don't know nothing about it, man. We don't know anything about the deep depths of the ocean. Um, but whenever we find a new species or find some new, sorry, I apologize, find some new animal or sea creature that's never been seen before, and it may look hideous, may look horrifying because it's deep depths. You know what I'm saying? I would probably die looking at that thing in real life, but because it's unexplainable, it's unknown. It's that's beauty, man. It's beautiful because we have no idea. Our human mind can't comprehend it. Same thing with a mountain range, like you said. Yeah, the science behind it, the two tectonic plates, they're shifting over long periods of time. But it's so huge, it's large, it's just there. And the way the land forms around it, the way it blocks the sky, the way just it is beautiful, man. Um, there's I mean, what is it? Every time you look over a mountain range, every time, I mean, hiking too, when you go up to a high place and you just see the horizon, you just see all the trees, the tops of the
Mm.
trees, or for example, and you just see the empty sky. That's beautiful, man. It's not because like we, it's beautiful. Yeah, we've probably seen it in pictures and everything like that, but when you're there and you're physically present, the way it hits your eyes and the experience around it, it's different. It just nullifies everything you see online. I think one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen was driving up to the White Mountains in New Hampshire, and there was I think Lake something. I don't know. I forget the lake, but during that drive, I'll never forget this, man. This blew my mind. I thought it was the most beautiful thing in the world. I'm driving down, man. You just see these nice streams of river water, there's water everywhere, there's trees, and then there's one long section of just straight road. And I kid you not, it's like a tent. It's just an engulfing tent of orange trees that they block everything. They're just going around because their leaves are huge and they barely have any you can't see any sky barely. And you're just driving under a tunnel of bright orange leaves. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Yeah. And that's all it is, trees. It's just
Yeah, exactly. They're just leaves and trees.
that's all it is. And a road. Well, we'll forget the road. That's man-made, but it's the trees, man. The trees just created this. I don't, it's like a painting. You know what I mean? And I'll never forget that. That's what beauty is, man. It creates that picture in your mind that you can never forget. You can't forget beauty. Just, you cannot forget beauty.
Do you think beauty? You talked about unexplainable, and I can I can definitely see the sublime being unexplainable. Do you think beauty is also unexplainable? And that's beauty because I think in that picture, what you described, that's beauty. I think you can also find beauty in a woman, but we often mistake it as something like lust, attraction, cuteness, gorgeousness. I but I think there's some women who actually exude beauty. But my question would be, would then beauty be unexplainable?
Yeah, because we all find something different beautiful. I think when it comes to I don't know if everyone in the world will think that a mountain range is beautiful. I don't know if everyone in the world will think that the treed orange leaves engulfing the road are beautiful. I think a good number of people would, because again, you don't see it often. Um, but it also goes into like there are some women out there who someone else may not think is that beautiful, but to you, you might think she's like the most beautiful person you've ever seen, and you can't explain it because it's different. It's only for you. Everyone has the eye beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? That's the famous phrase. And I think it's very true because we all see things differently. We all have different memories. We have because it's all like our minds have all different experiences and emotions, and that goes into what we see. We project those things into what we see sometimes. So, you know, I uh I think a sunset is beautiful, like especially in Miami. Oh my God.
We
That
have to go
Miami
there.
sunset, the Miami Beach sunset looks exactly like the postcards. Most beautiful, one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, right? Right?
Mhm.
Will someone else think it's the same? Will someone else be like, or what about the people who see it all the time? Do they think it's still
Mhm.
beautiful? Do they appreciate it as much? So
Yeah.
I feel like if you see, maybe beauty is in how minimal we see something, right? Uh, and then to the point where we see it so often, it becomes explainable because we see it, so we can learn about it. Same thing with the beautiful woman. Will we find her that beautiful every time we see her? I don't know. There's a good chance we might not, because that's
Yeah.
just over time, things become stale. They become normalized. They become ordinary because we see it all the time. Now, I think it's a special trait for human beings that can see, if you can see something 1,000 times and still think it's as beautiful as the first time, maybe that's what really is truly the most beautiful thing then. Or beauty is you, is how you see something. Maybe if you can see something so beautiful, that's just how you see beauty. I guess the beauty is different for everybody.
Yeah. I uh let me think about my thoughts. I I asked the question because a lot that's been going on in my mind is thinking about other natural laws, principles, uh, not ways of being, but natural laws and principles and that govern life. And and trying to parse out what beauty would be if it could be a natural principle. So what I'm something like I think we can all, at least between you and me, we know life is a paradox,
Yeah.
right? And I do believe that the principle of just life in the world, it's a paradox. That's the way of being. Uh, I wonder if beauty can be the same thing. If if like you said, it's just our perspective on how we look at life rather than the object giving us beauty instead. And yeah, it's something I'm trying to get my head around. That's all.
Yeah. It is there's beauty in stillness too, right? I
Right.
mean, some like the trees or like the mountain. That mountain is not moved. That mountain has not moved in a long, long.
Uh,
It is not moved. It's become part of the world. It has become a creation of the earth, of God. And I think for people who are religious, maybe, um, I think part of the beauty comes in knowing that something created that, that was a machination of creation. And if you're not religious, guess what? It was still created by something.
yeah.
It was
The
still,
universe still created it,
it
you
still
know?
created it. So something that's has a distinct shape. I mean, look, a mountain is not only just a thing, it's also a shape. It's also,
Right.
you look at uh something that has like maybe like a wide triangle that kind of comes up like this and is jagged. What would you say? It looks like a mountain. A mountain has a shape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It became its own solitary thing. There's nothing that can quantify as a mountain except a mountain. That's
Yeah.
not man-made. Okay. I mean, we've even taken from it and made pyramids, which are just
Yeah.
which are just less jagged mountains, really.
Yeah. 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 Pretty
So
much.
so we took something that's so still created from the earth and it created its own category of shape, its own category of existence, and we emulated it because of how beautiful it is and how
Yeah. And to
formed
think
it is.
about, I'm not much into the mathematics, but just thinking geometry, how important the triangle is to geometry in general. And I wonder uh, if mountains are based on the same kind of universal truth for our geometry.
Yeah,
Let's say that.
yeah. A tr
Uh,
It's so stable, right? The triangle is a stable shape. Well, at least a
mm,
wide triangle is.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a very stable shape, man, and it looks good, right? Um, what else? I mean, not only is
No,
beauty. Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna add on to what you were saying
Go
about
for it.
the stillness. Is it's wild because to us it's still. But if you go take a step back, like in relation to time, and you were seeing life go by in thousands of years or to the second, it'd be moving,
Yep.
it'd be going. So there's something about it. Of course, its size, how immense it is, but the immense time it moves at. And the same with Earth, the immense time it moves that it's so beyond our comprehension
Huh.
that we just think it's not moving.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah.
It's just going so slow. Oh, and it's so much bigger than we can even comprehend.
Yeah. Like if the Earth stopped spinning, what would happen? Right?
Yeah, shit.
Well, there's actually an answer to this. I forget. I watched something. I forget what they said. But
Really.
if the Earth stopped spinning, a lot of things would go wrong, right? A lot of things would not be going right. It'd be a kind of
I
a mess.
wonder if we it stops spinning and we just like roll really fast into the closest thing.
I don't know, man. Maybe because I mean, what it takes 24 hours for it to do a full rotation. So, um, and the Earth is huge, dude. It's just a massive sphere, right? So, shout out to the flat earthers. But it's just a massive sphere. So, how fast is it actually moving, right? How fast is that rotation? That's a good question. I should look that up. How fast is the Earth's rotation? Don't worry, I'm just flexing my typing skills. Uh, so the Earth rotates on its axis once every 24 hours, right? With a point on the equator moving at approximately 1,037 miles an hour. 1,037 miles an hour. So
I thought it was gonna be faster, but it's still really freaking fast. It's
that's what
still
Mach. That's faster than what, the speed of sound?
probably is,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's faster than the speed of sound because the speed of
Why
sound.
oh, it's the thing about whenever you put something to numbers, it always seems a lot smaller than it actually
Yeah,
is. For example, I have my death on a countdown um, uh, on my what's it called laptop, and I
yeah,
put it at 58 just because a lot of philosophers died at 58. So I'm like, fuck it, 58.
yeah.
And you put it into a number, it's only 11,000 days. And then you look at it and you're like, do I really only have that much time to live? Like, and if even if I double it, it's only 22.
Yeah,
Do I really only have that much time?
yeah,
And it makes you start thinking about your life in general. It's just like, wow, I really don't have that much time left. I got to make sure that each day does count.
yeah. Especially because you don't know. You have no idea when
Mhm.
your last day is. So the speed of sound is 767 miles an hour.
Shit,
So
that
the
is
Earth is
fast.
moving 300 more miles an hour than the speed of sound. Now, to answer your question, if it just stopped, what would happen? Would we fly? Um, Maybe not us, but I feel like maybe the large things in the world would.
What do you mean?
Um, like I don't know, buildings. Nah, we probably I don't know. Maybe this is me, my lack of physics knowledge here. So
Okay, yeah.
we would probably be screwed. I would probably fly across the room if the Earth stopped spinning, which is crazy because I mean, look, it doesn't feel like it's moving at all, like you said. It doesn't seem like it's moving at all, but it is. And it makes me think how many things in our life are moving at all times, but we never notice, like our heart, like our breathing, our organs, our minds, our bodies. They're always moving, especially on the inside, but we never know. We have no idea, right?
Not even when you're sleeping.
Nope. Not even when you're sleeping. The habitat, man, the ecosystem, the world, like ants, bugs, animals, right? Ants are building large colonies underneath us right now, probably helping do something for the ecosystem, and we have no idea. We have no clue. Bees are pollinating every flower in the world, especially now it's springtime, and we have no idea. And it's doing a great thing for our nature. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that actually brings up a point I've been thinking about out recently, about death. I, I think in our culture, we think of death as the end. That's it. It's death. It's death. Death. But that's just the state of death. Actual death, it brings so much life.
yeah.
If there's a, let's just say, a fox that's going through nature and it dies, it doesn't stop. Its body goes back into the earth and replenishes the earth. All right,
Mhm.
so more life can be had. It provides vultures and hyenas and uh, other what's the word for the people that eat the carcasses? The
The
animals. They're
Oh
not
my
carnivore.
God, the scavengers?
Yes,
Yeah,
scavengers, but there's another word.
there is
Scavengers. We'll just say
there is
scavengers.
another
Yeah,
word too. Yeah,
yeah. We'll say scavengers, but scavengers, they give them sustenance. You you think it's disgusting, but well, people think it's disgusting, but the maggots,
yeah,
the bacteria. So even in death, our bodies give back
yeah,
to the world with life. It's just our consciousness ends, and
yeah,
then whatever you believe is go on from there.
yeah,
But our physical body, no, it's actually beautiful in a
yeah.
sense because even in our death, we're giving life back.
That's
Unless
it.
you, and that's one thing I think about, and I understand why people do coffins because they want to preserve the person that's within it. But for me, I'd want my body to go give back to the life that's given so much to me,
Mm, yeah,
not unnecessarily try to reserve my body to keep it as its present state. No, it needs to be back in the earth.
yeah. Well, you're tall, so that's gonna be a big hole.
Yes.
Oh,
And
it's gonna be a big
I
hole.
want Ryan to come and do it.
Yeah. I'll be
And it like
happy. I'll be happy to
yeah,
bury you, man. I'll be
and
happy to bury you.
freaking 80 years old,
Yeah.
old back to leave it like oh fuck
Yeah, you're
man.
really gonna make me work.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh
Um,
no, I'll do a I'll get someone, I'll pay him to bring my body to you so that you're
that's
gonna have to deal with it.
very kind of you. I still have to do the work. I still have, you're just bringing the work to me. I
Yeah, yeah,
Fair
exactly.
enough. There was a dude, this is gonna sound crazy, but like I enjoy watching videos of like time lapses and of that process. Like nature,
Really?
like the hyenas and the vultures like coming to go for the kill, or take what's left. And there was a video of an elephant who died, and it was like a time lapse of the entire decomposition process. And I thought it was like very cool because all the animals came, right? And hyenas have a special ability where they can eat bone. And a lot of animals,
Oh,
yeah, a lot of animals can't. So hyenas they know how to eat bone marrow. So like they get more sustenance, even though the lions and the wild dogs and the vultures get the meat, the hyenas, they don't need it, like technically. So the elephant dies, you just see like everything go after it, and then all of it's left is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing, because the rest of it just decomposes. Um, there was a very cool, I'll never forget this, and maybe this is beautiful on its own and also kind of disturbing. But when I was a kid, I used to love riding my bike all the time. And on this hill, like next to a pond, there was a horrible smell. And I was like, damn, what is that? I was like, oh, what is that? It's gross. Let's go check it out. So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
go towards it, man. And there was a fisher cat, and it was completely chest cavity opened up, right? Completely opened up. And so obviously it was dead. And but inside, and I'll never forget this, it was black. It was like rotted. It was black. All the organs were kind of like an off color, brown, black looking, like it was going through the process, right? So
Mhm.
fast forward a few months later, I go happen to go by the same spot. Now, I don't know what happened, but all that was left was a perfect Fisher cat skeleton. And it was like all
Oh,
connected, the head, the spine, and the legs. I think there was a couple things missing, but the skeleton was all there. And I said, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. Like, this is awesome. Like, I thought it was mad cool. Um, because it went from that like that big biomass, right? That mass of biological matter of life. Well, not anymore, but the physical body, right? The decomposition, the colors that were changing, the fur that was still there, and then it went to nothing. It just went to a skeleton. And so some animals got a nice meal. The earth got a nice meal. And it just
yeah.
like I never thought of it like that when you said that. I was like, wow, that's very true. It feeds the earth, right? You've seen roadkill, you've seen all that stuff, right? All that goes into the earth, all of it. It's in some way, shape, or form. And I don't know, like that is beautiful when you think about it, because it makes death in a way useful, right?
Oh, yeah.
Even in death, you're useful. I mean, with people, it's different. With people, it might be a little different. I'll just check time. With people, it might be a little different because we get cremated. We're put in coffins, and if unless they're biodegradable coffins, then that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
we get put into morgues. We get put all these places. So what's left, right? Our memory. So are the people who remember us, the things we've left the world, the legacy, the children, or the art that we leave the world. I mean, look at Beethoven. Dude's left, classics. You know what I'm saying? People in music study him, right? Um, I don't know, Abraham Lincoln. He's the one who quote unquote freed the slaves, right? He's dead. He got shot in the head at a theater. And now he's still immortalized, right? He's immortalized. So even in death, people are useful. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy thing. I like what you said about that, though. It's very true.
yeah. And man, there's so many ways I can go with it. Just a first appreciation
Yeah,
of life.
yeah,
I think going off of the coffins and what we do as humans, I think sometimes we think we know better than life, and that gets us into trouble.
yeah.
Yeah, just take for example, death. Most people intellectually say, "Yeah, I know I'm gonna die," but do they really, in their hearts of hearts, understand that they're gonna die one day? Not really, not really. And
No,
they just need, hopefully, life to kick them in the ass, a near-death experience to get them out of that, or they're gonna get on their deathbed or at wherever they're gonna die and realize life doesn't give a shit.
no,
That you didn't
no,
realize
no, no,
that you're
no,
not gonna die. I mean that you're
no.
gonna die.
Yeah,
And
they call that our 40s. When we
yeah, yeah, midlife crisis. I swear, I was looking in my depression, dude. I was looking up midlife crisis this stuff because I thought I was in a midlife crisis.
yeah, that's quarter life crisis, man.
I was like 26. What the hell, dude? I'm not
Yeah,
supposed to have it,
yeah.
but thank God I did. And anyways, to go back, I do think going back to natural principles too. I think a natural principle, and actually one of the two pivotal what's the concepts of our life is relationship. And we always think relationships like this, but relationships are so much more.
Hmm.
It's a relationship to yourself, relationships to the world. Like you can't see me, but me touching the table, I'm exerting. force onto the table, and I'm able to feel this. But what's beautiful is the table is exerting force back at me. So it takes me and the table to create this relationship between each other where I can feel this. Because if I wasn't here, the table wouldn't be felt, and if the table wasn't here, I wouldn't be able to feel it. So it's a relationship between us that creates that uh, ability to just interact with the world. Same with the mountains. If I wasn't here or to enjoy the mountains, well, are there even mountains?
Yeah.
It's like the tree falling in, and I think about this is with the tree falling in the forest, and if anyone hears it, well, the animals are going to hear it. So let's just say no, no living being, nothing is able to interact with it. It just falls, and the sound goes unheard. I don't think it makes a sound. For me, it doesn't. It's because for me, what makes life life is that interaction with the world, with yourself, with your or the people around you. And if there is no relationship, then it's not much of a life to live.
No. And a tree probably fell right now as we're talking. A tree probably fell right now as we're talking, and we didn't hear it. But just like the earth, we don't know when it's moving.
Right.
We don't know. And I think that's beautiful too, that we don't know. It
And we don't
makes
need to know.
we don't need to know because if we knew everything, nothing would be beautiful, right? Because we know about it. That's why if someone
You-
asks you, "Oh, do you want to know everything or know nothing?" I would choose nothing in a heartbeat. That way I can relearn everything again.
Yeah.